The World Series starts today with the LA Dodgers facing off against the Boston Red Sox. So for a little warm-up, we're dipping into our archives for memories of a Major League legend that got his start playing American Legion ball right here in Montana. Dave McNally won 2 World Series with the Baltimore Orioles and holds a claim to fame as the only pitcher to ever hit a grand slam in the World Series. Let's take a look.
That's Q2's Andy Price talking with Dave McNally back in 1999 at the old Cobb Field. The same diamond he got his pitching start on for the American Legion Post 4 team. In 1960, Billings went all the way to the championship game at the Legion World Series, and McNally was known even back then as a star player.
You know, when he was playing Legion baseball, it wasn't a matter of if he was going to win the game, it was whether it was going to be a one or no hitter.
A lot of us that rode around on his coattails. Just because of Dave, there's a lot of people that got scholarships and that wouldn't have got any exposure from Billings, Montana.
After Legion ball, McNally signed with the Baltimore Orioles. The plan was to start him in Class B, but the Orioles thought first they'd give him a quick shot at AA.
Well, I pitched about 19 innings in AA, gave up like 19 hits, 19 runs, 19 walks, 19 strikeouts, and they said, see you later.
Initial setbacks aside, McNally got to the bigs in September of '62. In 1966,
the Orioles are the new world champions.
He and other Orioles pitchers combined to give up only 2 runs the entire 4-game sweep of the LA Dodgers, the defending champs. 4 years later, they'd do it again. That was 1970, when McNally stepped to the plate with bases loaded and became the only pitcher ever to hit a World Series grand slam, even to this day.
I was not a good hitter. If you threw me a fastball about belt high on the inside third of the plate, I could hit it. Other than that, I couldn't hit anything.
On the win, 9-3. Is Dave McNally happy?
McNally retired in 1975, but would leave one final legacy on his way out. He joined a famous labor fight against Major League Baseball and won, freeing players from being tied to their teams even after their contracts expired. In other words, Dave McNally helped usher in the era of free agency. He saw it as a way to help other players.
When we had those really good teams in Baltimore, we had some really great players in AAA that were just, 3 years in AAA hitting 330 and 335 that couldn't come up, and they couldn't go elsewhere. So it helped everybody, I think.
After retiring, McNally came back home and got into the car business. It seemed after years of fame, he was ready for the quiet life.
I can go anywhere in Billings and never get noticed, and if I go back to Baltimore, I go in any restaurant and they start screaming at me, and it's a funny situation.
Why don't you go back and watch this series? Your team's in it and everything, former ball player.
Well, because there's too much chaos at those things. It's absolutely chaotic, and I have a very nice color television set, and the drinks are cheaper at my house.
McNally passed away in 2002 from cancer, but his legacy lives on. A bronze statue of him was put up in 2008 at Deller Park, just a fly ball away from the pitching mound where he got his start.